Hi, welcome to my channel, and today I have a sort of theatre vlog for you. So today me and Lawrence are heading to the Lowry for the showcase of Come From Away, as Come From Away is going to be on at the Lowry over the Christmas season, so they're going to have a showcase for it. There's going to be the cast there, they're going to be doing some performances, we're going to have a lunch, a little light lunch there as well, so it should be a really fun day. So I'm going to take you with me and show you everything that happens. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this little vlog.
Yeah, someone do parallels.
So it's 11:10, we're just at the tram station. Lawrence is getting our tickets.
And
there's a tram in 1 minute, so hopefully the tickets come out before the tram.
Should know better, 'cause you always do this to me. But you start to play, later disbelief, but I don't know.
Okay, so we're just at Cornbrook now. I think the tram's due. Yeah, now here it is, Media City tram. So this will take us straight to the Lowry. So we've just arrived at Media City now. We're just walking up to the Lowry and we're quite early, so probably sit down and get a drink while we're waiting. Yeah, should be a good day. Yeah, just walking up to the Lowry now. We've got the 42 balloons sign up. We're hopefully going to go and see that. We haven't booked tickets yet. We're hoping. We're going to see. Okay, so we've arrived now, so we're just going to head in and see where we need to go. Okay, so the event is taking place in the Compass Room and the meeting place is the Keys Bar, so the far bar, so we're just going to head up there. Okay, so we've now arrived at the press event. We've got a lovely little notepad badge here. Notepad, and then we've got this. Not quite sure what this is. Yeah. And Lawrence has just gone to get a drink. So there's a few good drink. And then this is the stage. Yeah. So there's going to be some performances and things. So yeah, we should be starting soon.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to see so many familiar faces here this afternoon. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Steve Cowton. I'm one of the two heads of theatre here at the Lowry, and we're here to talk about Christmas, which is quite strange in the middle of March, but there you go. Over the last few years, we've sort of made a bit of a statement with our Christmas shows, I think. A few years ago we had Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe. 2 years ago we had Ocean at the End of the Lane from National Theatre. And the Christmas just gone on we had Life of Pi, the Olivier Award-winning Broadway smash hit show. And I think the thing that unites them all is quality. You know, they're all just brilliant shows. At Christmas we try and put on the very, very best show that we can. And that's what we've done this year. I thought Come From Away, I've just discovered in 2019, just before COVID hit. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. I'm not a massive musicals fan. This show I think is something really very special. It's about how, at the very worst of times, That's when people reveal the very best of themselves. It's a show about how good we can be. And I think in these troubled times, there probably isn't a better message to sound out at Christmas, I think. You probably wonder what I'm talking about. Here's a little trailer, I'll tell you a bit more about the show.
I got a call saying there'd been an incident in New York. I'm reporting live at Gander Airport where the 19th plane has just touched down.
Gander Town Council declares a state of emergency. We landed on this rock in the middle of nowhere.
My son's a firefighter in New York, and I couldn't get through to him. They needed food, bed, clothes.
Here, when a stranger knocks on your door, we take care of them.
And the thing is,
It's all true.
I'll give you a little flavour for it. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to your host for the afternoon, which is a very good friend of the Lowry and something of a Manchester legend. Please welcome Michelle Eagleton.
Thank you, Steve. I gave him a tenner before. He's brilliant like that. We are very excited today, none more so than me, because I've already seen this production, so I know what you guys are about to get right here today. We're going to hear from some of the cast and the team from Come From Away. But first, do you fancy a Tuesday treat? Yeah. Oh, come on, we are all northern. Do you fancy a Tuesday treat? Yeah. Well, get ready to get your toes a-tapping, because please give a warm Salford welcome to the cast of Come From Away with the opening number, Welcome to the Rock.
On the northeast tip of North America, on an island called Newfoundland, there's an airport. It used to be one of the biggest airports in the world, and next to it is a town called Gander. Welcome to the Rock if you come from away. You probably understand about a half of what we say. We say no man's an island, but an island makes a man, especially when one comes from one like Newfoundland. Welcome to the Rock, where the sun is coming up and the world is come to shore. If you're hoping for a harbor, then you'll find an open door. In the winter from the water to whatever's in the way, to the rock, to a come from away. Welcome to the Rock.
What a soaring start to this afternoon. Now, we're going to hear from a couple of the cast in a few moments' time, but this show has come direct from the West End. It's the first ever UK tour, and it's coming here to the Lowry from the 3rd of December to the 5th of January next year. We get 5 weeks with you guys! So please welcome to the stage the guy behind this wonderful production, producer John Brant.
I love it when I'm the only one here because I basically get all the credit, which is good.
I know, we'll let you, and we won't mention that you're a Liverpool fan.
So it's difficult for me to be here after Sunday, but congratulations.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing red for Liverpool, not Man United, honestly.
That's
I'm
what I
actually
thought,
wearing it for Canada. I'm representing the colours.
Yeah.
Because this is a real life story, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 100%
Yeah.
true.
And it was one actually that I had never heard about before this musical, which seems bizarre now that, you know, I've seen it come to life. It was 7,000 people who got stranded in a Newfoundland, like small kind of village called Gander in the wake of 9/11. They were from all over the world, these air passengers. And Gander, and the people of Gander, just took them in, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's remarkable. It's a very famous Canadian story. And when I first saw this musical, I went back to my wife, who's Canadian, and told her all about it. And she said, oh yeah, my aunt made sandwiches in Lewisport on that day. So it's this very, very famous Canadian story. And if you go to Gander, which I have, Gander has a major international airport. But Gander basically is a couple of stoplights, you know, a couple of strip malls and housing. 7,000 people, remote. And when I went there, I remember I was outside the Tim Hortons, which they reference because that's where they always meet at the beginning of the day. And you kind of look up and it's all one level. And I had this overwhelming feeling of all these planes coming in. Mm-hmm. It just would have been unbelievable. 7,000 people, population basically doubled overnight, and they were there for 5 days.
And they literally rallied round, getting so many things that you just don't think about. You had different religions there, you had people who were young, people old.
Yeah, I mean, it's covered in the show, the different religions, finding outlets for people from different backgrounds, whether they be Muslim, whether they be Jewish, mm-hmm. Whether that's a place to pray, whether that's, the necessity for different kind of kitchens. There's children there, there's people who are expecting, there's animals, there's people who have adopted children. I mean, it's amazing really when they actually start to dig into the story, how complex it is. And these people in Gander, they didn't even think for a minute. They just got in their cars and they just drove to the airport, to the point where, as one of the planes was coming in, they looked out and all they could see running up the highway were lights. And it was the lights for the cars, all queuing to just get to the airport, to help people, to pick people up, to take people back to the houses.
Wow, it's an incredible story. Now, how do you take that story and bring it to the stage? How did the show come about?
Well, a man called Michael Rubinoff, who's the Dean of Admissions at a university, was the Dean of Arts at a university called Sheridan College, famous Canadian story, and he always thought it should be musicalised. And he asked a number of people who both, who said, oh, I don't know how we do this, I don't know how we musicalise it. And then he got to David and Irene, who were a husband and wife team, young at that point, hadn't really they'd written one thing of note in Toronto, but they were starting out really. And he told them the story and he said, I really think it should be a musical. And what they did was they had 2 musical ideas at that point, and they applied for funding for both. And one of those was to go to Gander for the 10th anniversary to interview the people from the real life story. And that was the funding that came back first. Wow. So they flew to Gander and they were meant to stay for a few days, and per the people of Gander, they stayed for weeks. And they interviewed all these people. And I think the first iteration, David was telling me once, was 100 pages long and they were still on the plane. I mean, the show's now 100 minutes straight through. So it was a real development. They came back and they started working on it. It went to Nantes and it was eventually picked up by our co-producers, Randy and Sue Frost, in 2015.
It's been a real journey, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, 2015 in La Jolla, California was where I saw it. And again, just, I went, look, it's a difficult story, right? Someone starts explaining to you this idea for this new musical and they go 9/11 in small Canadian town, and you kind of go, I'm not sure it's no like Mary Poppins, at the end of the day, in terms of its subject matter. But the whole thing about it was the people who are our co-producers I've worked with a lot, and they just kept saying to me, you've got to come and see it, you've got to come and see it. So I took myself off to California, which is lovely, and, went there, went to La Jolla, saw the show, 100 minutes, and I was just blown away. And as I said to the cast the other day when we opened in Leicester, I'm a fan who just happens to be a theatre producer. So I just feel really lucky to have seen it before any other theatre producers in the UK, so that I could be a part of it, because since 2015 it's just been a remarkable journey. I mean, it went from La Jolla and then crisscrossed the US, came into Broadway, and before we know it was on Broadway. It was sitting down in Toronto. It was on a North American tour, and it was on its way to the UK. And that all happened really in the space of, we hit Broadway in 2017, and then over the next 2 years, 4 productions.
Wow. As you say, I mean, it's been a hit on Broadway, it's been a hit in the West End. You're now on tour, it's first UK tour. It feels like it has been a journey. And how does it feel now to be in this point, to show lots of people this production?
Look, it's really good to get around the country. I mean, this show is set in Gander, but it could kind of be set in anywhere. It's about community, it's about humanity, it's about people coming together when times are really hard. It's a celebration of life, it's a celebration of community, it's a celebration of not closing our doors to people. And in the world we live in at the moment, where what we do is we close our doors and we question And, you know, we say, well, why should we let that person, or why should we help that person, or if they help that person, if we allow them into our lives, what are they going to do? People of Gander never felt that. They never thought that. What they did was they said, we're going to open our doors, we're going to help you, we're going to look after you, we're going to clothe you, we're going to shelter you, we're going to give you a phone, we're going to feed you, we're going to hold you if we need to hold you, and we're not going to ask anything back. I mean, that's how life should be. And it's really how life isn't.
You do leave the show and it restores your faith in humanity, and you also want to live in Gander. I'm just going to tell you that. It's like, I want to go and move there, really, really do. So next time you're going on a trip to see your wife's auntie, you can take me with you.
It does take genuinely about 22 hours to get there. As the crow flies, probably from Manchester, it's probably 5 hours flight. It's not far, it's the northeast tip. But it's a remarkable town because of the people that are in it. Mm-hmm. And they truly are remarkable, and we bring them over to see the shows every now and again. I know them all very well. I know all of these characters, the real people, very well, and they're so genuine. They did that day because they thought there was a bunch of people who were stranded and who needed help.
Now you talked about the real people. Well, should we talk to the people who play those real people right now? Well, let's welcome to the stage Bree Smith, Sarah Poyser, and the wonderful Mark Dugdale. Oh guys, it is great to have you here, and we were talking about those characters there. There's so many rich characters that you find in Come From Away. And I'm actually going to start with you, Sarah. I'll move over to this side, because you are playing the real-life American Airlines pilot, aren't you? And there seems to be a lot of responsibility in that role to get it right. Did you feel that pressure when you're playing a real-life person?
I think that because we're all playing real people, there is definitely a responsibility, but it was made clear right from the beginning that what we're not doing is an impersonation of those people. What we're trying to do is embody the spirit of those individuals. And luckily with the internet these days, I just looked at lots of footage of Captain Beverly Bass and who she was and what her energy was about, and what I got was the person who not only is a good and decent person, but is also a really strong character. To become a female American pilot these days feels quite run-of-the-mill, but at the time it was a really difficult thing. One of the things she says is when people saw her in the cockpit, they assumed that she was the secretary of the actual pilot, and she had to sort of fight against prejudice from men and women. So yeah, I think the responsibility is that you hope you embody the spirit of that individual, and I think that this cast have really taken that on board, and the creative team allowed us that kind of freedom within those parameters.
You mentioned your song and kind of talking about your journey in that song, Me in the Sky. We're going to hear that later on. It's a massive number in the show. What is that like when it gets to that point? Because you really are bearing your all as Beverly at that.
Yes, I guess it's like it's like a monologue, isn't it? She sits and tells everybody. I saw this show in the West End with my sister, and I felt like I didn't breathe for 100 minutes. I felt like I grabbed my sister's forearm and just sat completely mesmerised. So I know how it feels to watch that number. So there's a responsibility there too. It feels like I want them to feel like I felt, which was moved and overwhelmed by not just that number but by the whole show. But yeah, it's a beautiful song because it is like a monologue. She talks about the prejudice she felt, and she talks about the moment she first lifts off into the air and how that felt. And it's a really beautiful song. It is.
It's actually a verbatim interview with her. Pretty much.
There you go.
The writers interviewed her about her life and her career, and that is basically what the song is. And that's why she keeps going suddenly, because she suddenly keeps remembering things.
That makes sense.
And I didn't know that until we were about 4 years in, and someone told me.
I don't feel too bad then.
Yeah. So it is actually, that's why it's, so urgent and so, so kind of, monologue.
You got a little nugget of information there. I'm looking at John. I'm going to move over to you, Brie. It feels like you know this place more than I do, actually. You've been to lots of theatres around here, haven't you? And also performed on the Lowry stage before. Is it going to be good to be back on home turf?
Yeah, it will be. And it's nice just that friends and family from home can come and watch it and see this incredible cast and musical. But yeah, Manchester definitely feels like second home.
And look, she's in the colours of the Lyric Theatre, where it's going to be. Very on brand.
Naturally.
You're playing playing Hannah, and obviously you all play lots of characters as well alongside that. Hannah, for me, was really emotional as a character and went on a real journey. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect.
Yeah, without giving it away too much, and Hannah goes on an emotional roller coaster of trying to contact her son, who's a firefighter, and was called to work on the 11th of September. And she's stuck in Gander, and she just wants to get through to her son. And come and watch the show, and you'll see if she does or if she doesn't. But she has an emotional roller coaster of just not being able to get through. Obviously, she's got a nice little flip phone back in the 2000s, and she just has an emotional journey.
She did really well there, not giving anything away. Put you on the spot. Mark, you've been with the show for quite a while. You've been in the show in the West End. You're now with it as it's on tour. It must be really special to you to keep coming back to it, right?
Oh, I mean, I just don't think I've ever experienced a show like it. And I've been really lucky in my career to have done so many different types of shows that the audience response is insanely, it's crazy. But this is a different level. It's like, we're just reflecting society and everything back to people in the audience. And it's just it's just a wall of noise coming at us every night. And it's beautiful. You see people laughing, crying. And as an actor, I don't think you just jump into all these different characters and all these different situations, and you don't really have time to get nervous about it or think about it. As an actor, you just do it, And we're such a tight-knit group, so it's lovely to be in an ensemble piece and be really in that, sort of type of show, because they don't exist that much.
No, absolutely. And in regards to being in the show for so long, it does mean that you have actually met some of the real life people from Gander who was involved in this. Tell us about that. What was that like?
Well, when we opened the show in London, our lovely producers, they threw a big party. It was a screeching. You'll see it was one of the scenes in the show. We all had to kiss the fish. We all had to drink the screech.
I'm a bit gutted they didn't bring the fish today. I'm not going to lie. You've got to see this fish. It's a big fish.
We have a spare one, actually. We should have brought it. I apologise.
It's a missed opportunity. Anyway.
But they were all there. They all came over for the opening, and they are literally, like you see on stage, they are the nicest people you'll ever meet. They're just so down to earth. And I'm from Ireland originally, and there's that kind of, and I suppose it's the same as Manchester, Liverpool, all those northern places. Just so, like, everyone's just so friendly and so helpful, and they were just brilliant crack, because it's got a real Irish influence as well, so it was just like, let's just have a drink, and we also obviously met the Come From Aways, the people who we all play, and they were just, it's changed their lives, and it's in turn changed our lives. And even we're in Liverpool at the minute, and last week we were in the pub after the show, and we met some of the people. They were in the plane, and they were from Liverpool, and they were just like, they just came up to us in the pub. We were on the plane. We were going to Gander that day. We were going up to get married in Florida, and they got diverted to Gander, and they'd never seen the show, and there they were from Liverpool, just sitting there.
That's incredible.
One of the flights went from Manchester, right, Lewis? That's correct, isn't it? One of the flights went from Manchester. So there'll be a number of people in this community who were either on the flight or know people who are on the flight.
That's quite powerful. Yeah. Really is. Oh wow. That's taking you back, near back. But the show itself, as I said before, it does restore your faith in humanity, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think something that John just touched on, I think it's really important to know as well that you're right, John, that the 9/11 thing, it's a hard thing to immediately start to talk about, but one of the things that astounded me is how funny this show is. So Mark just said it as well, you will hopefully laugh and cry. It's so moving, and yet at points, laugh out loud hilarious, right? I mean, there's various little kind of sketches and moments in it that are, and I think people can laugh in difficult times, and I think this really encapsulates that really well.
Definitely. And it's very fast paced as well, so you're moving around the stage a lot. I'm going to have to talk about the chairs, guys. Alright, I'm going to set the scene for you with the chairs. So the chairs are actually almost like props and sets, and the way that you're going there, a bus that you're on, then the next minute you're transported to a pub, and it's just incredible what you do. You call it chairography, don't you?
Yeah, we do call it chairography. These guys actually dealt with chairs the best, I think, because most casts get to like the third week and just have a complete chair breakdown. Honestly, they do.
I'm in secret, John.
Oh, did you? Right. And as producers, we always slightly prepare for like the call from the company manager, and but it didn't come this time, no. But yeah, we
That's
do.
good.
We
That's a
call
good
it.
thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. We call it chairography. Yeah.
We had an amazing creative team, and some of them are here today. And so it kind of went like this: Sarah, chair, stage left 9. Mark, stage, pick up the stage chair left, take it to point 7. Kirsty, get to the chair 3, put it to, like writing it down. And that's why it got a little bit crazy, but I mean, what you get is the result that you get, which is beautiful imagery and storytelling.
It is unbelievable. I'm a bit disappointed that the rest of the cast haven't done anything with their chairs over there. I'm like, that is a missed opportunity, isn't it, really?
They're in a nice formation.
Not only the chairs are, a big thing, because you're playing lots of different characters from all over the world, there's lots of different accents that you're constantly changing to. How difficult is that as an actor?
I think it definitely challenged me personally, if I was just speaking for myself, because I have my Hannah character who has a New York accent, and then I have my Ganda character who has a Newfoundland accent. Is it just those two? Yeah, but it's constantly switching. So just for me to take my glasses off and then not Hannah and then Mickey or Margie or whichever character I'm then being with just the taking off of the glasses, and I have to switch it straight away. But we had an amazing accent coach as well who helped us through and is still helping us through with accents. But it's fun. It's great. I enjoy it.
Mark, which is your most difficult accent? Which is the one that you kind of like take a gulp before you start talking?
Well, the problem for me is because the Newfoundland accent is really heavily influenced by the Irish accent, so I'm screwed. It's really hard not to go really proper Irish with it, I'm like that. But it's not that, it's something else.
That's rehearsal time, yeah?
Yeah, you won't have heard us in week 1. It was a picture.
Oh, now you are on tour, and it's great that you've popped in to see us. What has the response been like from the audiences, Sarah?
I mean, I wasn't prepared for it, and like Mark said, we've all done various shows that have been very loved, and sometimes the audiences have been quiet, and we've often said it in the wings, you can tell that they're listening, you can almost hear they're listening, they've been really attentive. But the love for this show is really palpable. It's proper, not for a second is no one on their feet, like right as that final kind of the last lyric we sing is "Welcome to the Rock," because the kind of final kind of reminder that everybody's welcome to that place, and they just go crazy. And it's what's lovely about it. It doesn't feel like I'm doing something. It feels like there's a story that we are telling that has been created and produced, and we're the facilitators of that story. So it feels like a real collective, like, oh, we're really glad that you got it. And it's a really overwhelming, gorgeous moment.
Yeah. Can I just add to that as well?
Yes, sir.
Because the way that the show is written, there's not much time for applause. So there's an opening number, and then there's maybe one other time in the show, except the end, for the audience to applause, because it's just go, 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 like the whole 5 days were. So it's a reflection on the 5 days that the people were in Newfoundland. So at the end of the show, when we do our final "Welcome to the Rock," the audience go wow, because they've resisted from clapping, or they haven't been able to clap for the whole time. So it hits different. Again, any show that I've done before where you clap after every number, this is different. It's just all built up and then it explodes at the end, and it's phenomenal. Like every night we've had a standing ovation, which is
no pressure.
And yes. Well, we are super excited that you're going to be here for Christmas. It actually feels right for a Christmas production, with some of those themes that we've talked about, giving back, the humanity. John, would you say that?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. It's a celebration, and it's kind of interfaith, and it's about being together with your community and being together with your family, which is perfect at Christmas or at certain times of the year. And Manchester, Salford, Greater Manchester, Salford is the perfect place for it. It's a big city, but with a really a strong community feel. And I just think that it will relate so well. This is a city that's, as Mark said, so welcoming, so friendly. When I was at uni, my first year I lived with a girl from Berry, actually. And she was always the one looking after us. She was always the one trying to help us and asking us if we wanted a brew and blah, blah, blah. So,
Did you have some berry black pudding?
Probably. I mean, it was a long time ago and it was university.
If not had berry black pudding, while you're down here, we'll get you some.
But it just feels like the perfect place. Leicester felt like the perfect place to open the show. This feels like the perfect place to come to for a 5-week celebration over Christmas to close out our tour. I just don't think I don't think we could be lucky enough to go to a better place, honestly.
Oh, thank you. You're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great time having you guys here. I did mention all the way through this is a real story. It is real people. Should we meet the real people? Let's take a look.
Well, on September 11th was just like any other ordinary day in Gander. I was at Tim Martin's coffee shop, where I go almost every morning. And when someone came in and said that a plane had crashed into the World Trade Center in New York.
The captain said there was a problem in the American airspace that was closed and we were diverting to Newfoundland.
And we ended up with a little over 7,000 passengers for 5 days.
The first given was to move furniture and make room on the floor for people to sleep.
On the first day, we had 7,000 strangers. On the third day, we had 7,000 friends. And on the 5th day, 7,000 family members.
To me, that is what Come From Away reminds us to do, is say hello, a smile, a simple gesture, a small act of kindness.
And I think this musical is changing people's lives throughout the world, there's no question about it.
Incredible people, incredible story. Now time for an incredible performance. Please first though, give it up for some of our panel members here. John, Brie, and the wonderful Mark as well. Give it up for them because... Sarah's not going anywhere. In fact, you are joining the other ladies as well because we're going to bring back the ladies from the cast of Come From Away. They're going to join Sarah. This is a fantastic number you're about to see. It is called Me and the Sky. Take it away, guys.
Thanks. Clear me throat. My parents must have thought they had a crazy kid, 'cause I was one of those kids who always knew what I wanted. 1986, the first female American captain in history. Suddenly I'm in the cockpit. Suddenly I got my wings. Suddenly all of those pilots are testing me where they can get their own drinks. Not saying you can or you won't or you know you're not anything but sugar girl. Suddenly I'm getting married. We're putting pins in the map where we've flown. Suddenly something has died. Suddenly there's something in between me and the sky.
Absolutely fantastic. Let's hear it one more time for the cast of Come From Away. I'm so excited. I really am. I can't wait for it to be December. I know I'm wishing my life away, but it's going to be brilliant. I hope you enjoyed the discussion, the singing. We are now going to serve some food, so please enjoy some refreshments. And if you have got an interview planned, then you can still enjoy a bite to eat. It's going to be about 15 minutes, and Kate's going to be downstairs in the Keys bar. Thank you so much for coming today, and we'll see you in December. But we'll see you before that, won't we? Thank you.
That's what I heard.
Okay, everyone, right, we ready? Okay, so can you hold that in the middle?
Yeah, can you stop hogging it, basically?
Yeah, let's get a few more hands on. Right, okay, that's it, that's good. Right, okay. Right, okay, you ready, everyone?
Yeah.
Right, oh wow, gosh. Alright, smiling away, that's good, lovely, that's great. Just gonna get a couple more, and then we've got you. Lovely, nice. One more, and then I think somebody's got it, and then you can probably all go with it. Good. There we are. What? Oh yeah, what I'll do, look, I'll get out of everyone's way. What are we looking at now? Pardon me, sorry everyone.
That'll be funny. The blue tapes.
Oh, let's go. We got you, thank you.
Stop.
So the interviews and the performances are finished now. We're just getting some food. So we've got hot dog and wedges, and it's very nice to show you. So here is the food. We've got a hot dog, some wedges, and then there's the as well, but I just eat plain food, so I'm just going to have it plain. So yeah, look forward to this. It's really yummy. Here's Lawrence on his phone while his food's getting cold. So the showcase is now finished. We had a really lovely lunch. It was really nice, and we had a great time. It was really good, wasn't it, Lawrence?
Yeah.
Got to see all the cast. Luckily we had a good seat, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we got a really good view of the performances. Performances were amazing.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. We're looking forward to it coming to Lowry. We might be able to see it again. We're going to see, because obviously luckily we went to see it in Liverpool.
Yeah.
In case we couldn't afford to go in December, but yeah, really enjoyed ourselves. Talk more about it when we get home. Yeah, Lawrence just had a little chat with the cast as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Which you enjoyed.
So I decided to have a week back just so I can have a quick chat.
So it's been a great day, but we need to get home now and pick the kids up from school. So we'll probably chat a bit more about it when we get home. Also, just wanted to say we spotted this on our way in, scanned it, and we got £20 tickets. So if you're looking for tickets, come scan this. You can get £20 tickets. So we weren't sure if we were going to be able to afford to go, and now we've got £20 tickets in the store. So excellent. Really pleased with that. Hi, so we are now back from the Come From Away showcase. We had such an amazing time. It was really good. We got to see some great performances, as you will have seen in the video, and it was a really good day. We got a really lovely lunch. It was hot dogs and wedges, and let me say the wedges were so nice. There was actually a spare hot dog and wedges at the place next to us, and he said if anyone wants it you can have it, and everyone was just eyeing it up, but no one took it. I mean, Laura's like, oh, we should have just took it when the other people started to leave because it was so nice, but we didn't. But yeah, it was a really great time. They obviously did a little interview with the cast and the producer, and that was really interesting, learning a bit more about where the story come from and how they arrived at the story, and we just really enjoyed ourselves. It was great. Now, we have actually already seen the production. We saw it last week in Liverpool, and let me tell you, it is fantastic. Me and Lawrence had such a great time. We're really hoping we can go and see it again at the Lowry. We're going to see what our funds are like over the Christmas period, but it's Lawrence's birthday, and it is on his birthday, so we probably will end up going for his birthday, because I don't think there's anything else he wants to go and see. So it is likely we'll go and see it for his birthday, and it's, like I said, it's a great show. You're definitely in for a treat if you're going to go and see it. So it's on at the Lowry from the 3rd of December to the 5th of January, so over the Christmas season. And yeah, I definitely recommend it. Obviously it's a little different from usual Christmas shows, but it's got a lot of heart. It's very heartwarming. It's all about community and coming together, so it makes a really good Christmas show. There's some great music in it, as you'll have seen from some of the songs that they performed. There's some really great songs in there. We get a couple of little gifts. We got a lovely little Come From Away notebook. We got a little pin badge, which we also picked up when we were in Liverpool. They tend to give these out as you're leaving the show. And then we also got a little bit of maple syrup as well, so it looked really nice. And yeah, so Like I said, it is on at the Lowry from the 3rd of December until the 5th of January. Tickets are on sale now. I'll leave a link below to where you can purchase your tickets. I'll also leave a link to the Come From Away website, just in case you can't get to Lowry but you still want to see the show. It'll list all the places it will be touring to as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this little vlog of the showcase from Come From Away, and if you have, please do give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon for another video. Bye.